This is my neuron model, and at the presynaptic cell, at the end you have your dendrites, and what dendrites do is that they are branches on the neuron that receive signals from other neurons and transmit the information to the cell body. And this right here, this whole thing is the cell body, and it's basically the main part of a neuron that contains all the essential components. And one of those essential components would be the nucleus. And the nucleus is the command center, basically, that contains all the genetic material and basically controls the entire cell. And towards the bottom of the cell, you have the axon hillock. And what that does, it determines whether or not an action potential will be generated and transmitted down the axon. And this entire thing is the axon. It's like a long string. And what the axon does is it carries electrical signals from the cell body to other neurons, muscles, and glands. And within the axon, you have the node of Ranvier. And what that is basically a small gap in the myelin sheath right here that surrounds the axons, and it's where electrical signals basically recharge and then continue down the axon. And within the myelin sheath, you have the Schwann cells, and what those are is that they basically wrap around and insulate the axon and allows for faster and more efficient transmission of electrical signals. And you also have your myelin sheath all right here along the axon. It's basically fat. It's a fatty material that protects and covers the axons, and it also allows to speed up the transmission of electrical signals. And towards the end, you have your axon terminal, which is right here, and it's basically the end point of the axon. And then you also have your synaptic terminals, which are right at the very end of the axon. And what that does is it allows for synapses to form with other neurons to allow for communication between these two neurons. And what a synapse also is right here is that it's basically a small little gap where two neurons are able to communicate through electrical signals. You also have your neurotransmitters right here. And what a neurotransmitter is it's a chemical messenger that helps transmit signals between neurons in the brain and the nervous system. And with these two cells, you have your presynaptic cell, which is the sending cell in the synapse, and then this cell right here is the postsynaptic cell, and it's the receiving cell in the synapse.